Nothing went well.
No.
Oh, all right.
I'm not starting just yet. Let other people turn up first.
Oh, all right.
So eager. Stop being such an eager beaver.
Hey, Count Dracula, I got your tip.
Hello.
You. You. Currently there. Yeah. I got a chair. Tell the people.
No,
I'll
I'm
come
not.
over
Don't
and
get me
say
started
hello.
on that pissing chair.
Hello. It is Amanda in background with makeup smeared all over eyeballs. Oh my, what happened here?
I don't know. So she got herself a chair. If any of you were there, was that yesterday's live?
Wednesday. Hey, Megan.
Wednesday's live. Ow. I said, get a chair.
You did?
Get a chair because your back hurts. So she did.
Yeah.
Did she get an office chair? No. Did she get an armchair?
No.
No. Did she get a kitchen chair almost exactly the same as the abundance of kitchen chairs that don't match that we already have? Yes. Why?
I do love a kitchen chair.
I don't know.
I
don't
Who doesn't
know.
love a dining room chair?
Hello.
Bowman. Oh, hey, Punky Starwood. Thank you. Because it was a nice. I liked it. It was $5. Is there any reason not to buy a chair?
Yes.
Look at 16 people. I think we're ready.
This is 19. What's that mean?
Tisk tisk.
Does it really?
Mm-hmm. Means for shade.
Oh.
For shade.
What kind of readings are you doing? I do tarot readings and bone readings.
We do Amanda hair readings.
Yes.
When it flops this way, it means yes. This way, it means no.
It's inverted, baby.
Even more confusing. Who knows what's happening? Hello. How are you? Sorry, I didn't know my voice was so upsetting to your ear.
Yeah, a bit.
Rude. Hi, Irene.
Hello.
A hair reading, please. Let's see. Here's your question. Think of your question in your head. I'm holding it up. I feel like that's more of a... Did I say this?
Yes.
Yes, it's more of a no then. There you have it. Hey, Vicious.
Wow, there's a massive lag on your phone.
I know. It's so bad.
How are you doing? I'm tired, I'll be honest, but I'm all right. I'll probably perk up in a minute. I fell asleep for a short time, which was nice, but it wasn't long enough.
Wrong enough.
It's never long enough.
Oh, we got your tip, Megan. I'll put it in the sheet momentarily. Once I figure out how to fix my hair. Amanda's messy bun is just wrapping it around and around.
Your messy what?
My messy bun. I just keep wrapping it until it's a big rat's nest on top of my head.
Isn't that what a messy bun is?
I think people have a specific way of doing it, but my way is just tucking in the ends until it looks
That's
like
what
something.
That's what I do as well.
You look like you need that sleep.
Do I?
May I please get some advice on emotional integration, letting go.
Right, you need to move because you're creating so much heat that it's making me more tired.
Goodbye.
Sorry.
Yeah, rude.
Don't sneer at me.
How rude. How rude. Okay.
Right. Upbeat music. Oh. That's better. Really?
Hold on.
Different artist.
You're so rude. No, I won't.
Go one down.
There.
Hello. Nobadoo.
How are you?
Nobadoo. I'm good. I'm alright. Waking up. Takes a while. Takes exactly the amount of time it takes from morning until I go back to sleep. Right. Oh, right. Nothing is Aries.
Aries moon.
Hello
It's
there.
my moon.
Yeah. That's what every single Aries does. Aries
Hola, Sophie Kills.
Hello. Right.
Let's start.
So, Aries Hunter Moon. Yeah. When you're exhausted. What do you do to stay? That's a good question, actually. When you're exhausted, you're looking at it. Perseverance. No, there are things that you can do. Depends on the medium of which you work with and what resonates to you. A bath helps me endlessly. To be honest, I think it's just that kind of submersing myself in water just seems to help me recharge a lot quicker. I also do the LPRP daily, which helps as well. I always feel pippy afterwards, peppy, one of those. But yeah, also though, I will say that you should listen to your body. Don't do what I do and just completely ignore it. My body's already fucked. Listen to your body. It is telling you some things for a reason, even if like just you need to replenish. You need to take a mental health day, and any form of practice needs to be put aside. You should. It's not worth it otherwise. Sometimes the spirit needs to. Oh, baby. Sometimes the spirit just needs a day off. Needs to just. You need to be human, and be very human, as in eat ice cream, stay in your pajamas, feel a little bit judgmental about things, a little bit annoyed about stuff, a bit of a cry, whatever it takes. Yeah, the busiest thing. I'm the same. I'm busy all the time, but at the same time, it's like I think one of the weird things is that working when it comes to like the spiritual, working within the realms of the spiritual all the time, eventually the spiritual becomes the mundane, which is weird. It's a weird thing that it flips, and you adjust to it in that way. You have to take yourself out of that equation sometimes, and step out and just that can be important. Instead of striving for the spiritual, striving to do something to do with your practice, just look after the body, the mind. It can help endlessly. What's this?
What?
Something. Oh no, there it is. Something's wrong with YouTube. It keeps stopping and starting. Right. I'm going to take this hat off now. I'm going to take this hat off.
Shit's gonna hit the fan.
Shit's going to happen.
It's gonna explode.
Oh, fuck, my hair. Where's it gone? No. Okay. All right. Oh, wake up. This is a no hat zone. I dropped my logs. Now, I need the list.
Don't you want to start?
What?
Okay.
What?
The collective?
No.
No, you really just don't want to do that, huh?
No, I don't.
Alright.
You need to stop.
Alright.
Thanks. You know that I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to be micromanaged right now. Does not play well with others. Right. So, this this song is so appropriate right now. Right. So, these are tipped readings, $10 minimum tip readings, and if you would like a reading, you can tip via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Please remember though to leave your username and a question if you have one as well. Thank you. Now, how much readings? $10 minimum tip. And
You can tip us more if you really like us.
if you like.
Anything extra is going to help one of our friends who is having some finance problems and losing their house in 8 days.
Yep. Good evening.
Oh, you paid through the website? Or did you buy the TikTok reading?
Right, Count Dracula. Yeah, I got it. It's about your grandmother is still with you. Seeing things that remind you of her. If it's too much general, well, let's have a look, okay? Because like, as you know, I don't do the clairvoyant things on the lives because it can be a little bit too much. But we, however, shall look and see because there can be messages. So, the Two of Wands is a conflict when it comes to direction. This conflict is more within rather than an external force about what you want and also the conflicting of what you need. Wait a minute. Let's change. I'm changing it. I'm changing it to purple.
Ooh,
because the red's making me annoyed. So, the conflict here of perhaps what you may want and what you may need, desire and necessity, both coming at a head here, can create friction. There is, well, I'll come to that. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is more about what you need rather over what you want. Okay. This post it. Oh, sure. What you need in terms of thing is to take more decisive action towards something. This is almost a tough love card in terms of this. It's about it's about like pushing yourself, even though you may not want to do something. You have to push yourself to see something, even though you don't want to. The reason being, now this is the one that, in terms of spirit, okay, the Page of Wheels. This is the representation of spirit that brings something in. This is a constant, okay? When you're talking about your grandmother in that sense, I believe that your grandmother hasn't actually gone anywhere in this sense, that they are still there. Oftentimes, ancestral spirits pop in and out, okay? Um, when we feel them close to us, it's oftentimes because we are in a place in our life where we need them. Um, this is kind of what that's saying here. What they are bringing in, their presence alone is to try and help guide you through something where you may feel this form of conflict and you're fighting against what you desire with what you want. Forms of emotion, there is a maturity of emotion here that kind of is raising, it's reaching a new kind of level. Four of Wands. This can be cooperation with another. This can be forms of commitment or even terms of a relationship that may be strengthening or renewed here. I hope that helps.
Do you do Oracle?
Yeah, I have some Oracle cards.
Thanks, Emily. I got your tip, Echo. Thank you guys for tipping extra for our friend.
Oh, thank you.
It's amazing. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Happy Friday, Joe Peace and Love.
Happy Friday. You know what? You know what will help me? This.
Some tea.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I love you too. No, I did those myself. I did everything here myself. No, it didn't hurt. I'm one of those people who just switches off, if that makes sense. Like, if something is uncomfortable in some way, I just switch off. Yeah, no. I think that's a good thing, if you know what I mean. Apart from when it comes to my teeth, which are still bothering me.
I actually got you an appointment to get your teeth pulled.
Did you?
Yeah, but it's not next week. It's the week after because I think you still have to go to the other dentist on Monday. So.
Well, the problem with the wisdom tooth, they say sometimes when they try and pull it, a piece of the jaw comes off with it.
Yeah, that's why you have to be really careful and have a surgical thing. Usually.
I don't care. Just cut the thing out, honestly. It's like annoying.
Okay, I'll check for it. I got it, Macy. Okay, no problem, Olivia.
It is, and I've never been one to actually be bothered with it much, but then I went to the dentist and they just like used an ultrasonic thing all around the impacted molar and it made it inflamed, and now the whole thing is just painful again. It's like my wisdom tooth is like half out, and then there's just gum covering the other half of it where it's just no room. So I constantly get a pain in my ear as well because it's like connected. It's really annoying me. And it's bearable in the morning, but as the day goes on, by the end of the day, I'm kind of annoyed with it, and I'm just like, make it stop now. Peroxide. Yeah, that's actually something that I've been trying to do. It just hurts. Really annoying. That's another reason why I'm not in the greatest mood right now. Yeah. So, anyways, Megan Johnson, 25. Would love to know more about where my situationship is going. Hello, Wicked Rose. Let's get the new one.
Warm salt water will help.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Yeah. One of those pains that is just over the top enough so that you can't ignore it completely, you know? Oh, I'm all right. I'm not in a bad... I'm just...
A little bit grumpy.
I'm a little bit of a grump, but I'm not towards you, Lon. Like,
yeah, just me.
Just her.
Oh, Joe, peace and love. If you're still there, remind me to text you tomorrow.
Hello, Lady of the Pines.
I forgot.
The Five of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands to begin with here. So, situationship. Here, this is current situation, and this is also forms of retrospect on that which has passed. Here, there is forms of confusion. As you say, situationship here, the two forms of understanding where common ground is met in the way of emotion. But then there are all these other things that aren't looked at. These other things that perhaps aren't talked about, aren't discussed, have been discussed, then quickly realize that they shouldn't be discussed again. This comes in this form of balance, perhaps even treading carefully, trying to keep peace, trying not to upset things. Everyone becomes very much used to it. Everyone becomes very, everyone involved becomes very used to that energy, used to the dynamic, and no one wishes to move outside of those circles in case something is disturbed that could kind of bring the whole house of cards coming down. The Queen of Wands here, this is that of taking action on something. There is naturally here courage, but also at the same time it requires the courage of two, not just one. Oh, and it's there. Okay, so the Two of Wands here, which is two people. This is a fantastic depiction of the Two of Wands that you don't often see. It is the form of journey, but it requires the dynamic of two individuals here. Both see with their backs turned, almost polar opposites in some ways, but they share a common goal. It is unknown of yet, the common goal, but it will be. But it requires you to be open more about how you may feel and where you wish things to perhaps go. You may be surprised at what the other person has to say. Over time, being delicate with the situation, the Queen of Cups is present in this. This is what it's kind of showing in the way of being open with emotion, being more forthcoming with certain things, even though it's like perhaps even putting yourself out there on a limb. I hope that helps. Right, I'm getting there. I'm getting there now.
There we go. You feeling better?
Yeah. Drink more tea. You're welcome.
Thanks, Megan. I know, it'd be great if he could make as much as he was before, because then I could quit my job.
Do you mind not discussing such things?
Oh, I'm sorry. Does that make you uncomfortable?
Yes. Can you put the list back on though, so I can see? Thank you. Where are we? Olivia breeding 0. No. Oh, sorry, Tasha. Sky blue. General reading from a partner. Aaron. Man's preferred, but you sniff. Okay. Sorry, Olivia breeding. It's not you yet. You're next. Okay. So first it's sky blue. Sky blue 22. Let's do a bones. We can do a bones here. Let's have a look. Let's move over here. There is protection, okay? This form of protection, it is in the past, so there may be certain elements of being protective when it comes to here, aspects of talking, emotion, or even conflict. Someone who is a peacekeeper in their very nature that may come from the past here. All right. Now, will turns towards forms of treasure. Treasure in this sense is abilities, opportunities, and such forth, things that you offer, which is many. There are many forms of talent here that is brought to this, but there is doubt that this form of will sits upon. This is something that needs to be kind of eliminated, but first recognized. It has sat there for too long, perhaps. There is the element of time and success here. You may be patient to get what you want, even though some things may take time. You may be laid back when it comes to your own goals. Now, there is forms of sitting like this is odd, but it is creativity, but it is curbed. There is here strength when it comes to a trial of sorts, some form of ordeal. Spirit are there, but mostly when it comes to love. Love and spirit are working well here, and this is what gives strength as well. This is what gives the whole almost reason behind your patience, behind even forms of keeping the peace in the past. But here there is pain, but the pain does not really affect anything in the way of love, but more the ego. Focus may be drawn off slightly, but this is simply because here there are so many different things that you have in many ways going on. There are so many opportunities. There is happiness here. There is forms of abundance that they may lead to, but the ego to do with this pain can get in the way. Second guessing may be a difficult thing here, but it comes down to this ordeal. It may be a break from the norm. It may be something that upsets, creates ripples within your life that brings about frustration. However, that frustration, as difficult as it may be, can bring forms of healing. Although fear is there are others around, family, friendships, things like this, and control that comes over them. Trying to keep on top of these, sometimes it is good practice to simply go with the flow due to these frustrations. Here, there are forms of protection around other people that you may love here, and anxieties. These anxieties are based firmly in the past when it comes to the mind. This is once again due to this form of frustration. However, this is a temporary thing. It's kind of moving that way. It glances on the healing. But that is all. I hope that helps. I hope they were on TikTok. Were they on TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay. So I forgot to move the YouTube one down.
Blair said you need a biggie.
I really don't.
You need a biggie?
I had like 2 of them and now I feel a bit sicky.
Thanks for throwing them bones.
You're welcome.
Hey, Gigi. How you been?
I need the list again, though.
Oh, sorry. It's Olivia.
Hello there, Olivia. So, you asked, where do my ancestors need me to go? I am so lost on my witch path. Let's do bones. When someone is lost, the best thing to have is a map. Yes. In terms of the self, first thing that comes up here is there is frustration. But beyond frustration, there is also success, accomplishment. This is what this means to be lost in this way. You know what it is you want and how you want you know what it is that you want. You know the destination. You know what it may feel like or what you're looking for. But it's a matter of finding it. It's a matter of getting there. This is what this is. It's annoying and it's creating a bit of a problem, almost in the way of a blockage. Let's examine why, though. There is once again here protection and forms of memory to do with the past. So there can be certain things here that do not want to be ventured or even perhaps touched upon that you have left behind. However, with such paths, it is commonplace that we may find ourselves drifting backwards. Things that we may have left, things that we may need to draw from that perhaps we missed the first time. It can be very frustrating and emotionally exhausting. There is conflict in the past in that sense. Looking ahead, though, here is your craft. This is forms of expression when it comes to artistic expression, but also intuition. There are forms of doubt here that can lead to sadness when it comes to a matter of time or perhaps how long you've been doing this. But focus here seems to be once again pointing towards the conflict of that past. This needs to be changed. Focus needs to come pretty much on that of the sadness, because beyond that sadness there is a joy. This is part of the journey. We cannot focus simply or take simply the paths that are all sunshine and roses. Sometimes the best path for us is not the sunny path. There is here another. This person here seems to be going through something as well. This person may be close to you. They are going through something as well in the forms of spirit. And spirit may be also calling upon you to actually help in some way, in some manner. And it may be difficult for you to hear that, or it may be also bringing up forms of frustrations when you can't fully understand why. They do that sometimes. There is a choice in the way of such things, though. There is strength that is required from this choice. There is a form of work, and here could be work or education, and that which is obscured. Will is taken off the board. In other words, that one way or another, it needs to come down to it. This can also be seeing things when it comes to do with practice or magic. All right. Now, other people, there is a fear of a group of people here, a form of control that may be lost due to them. Perhaps that is why they are kept at a distance. However, this is good and it should remain that way, because from them being outside of that thing, there are forms of less anxiety and more opportunities for healing. I hope that helps.
We have Emmy, then we have Echo, then we have Robin, Dr. Macy, we have LX Moon 34, Chokes, and then Sun is Omi. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 line right now.
Hello.
You're welcome, Olivia. Hi, Millennial Haley.
You're welcome. No, they're not. I know I look like I'm draining myself, but it's more just pain. Hurts a lot. Oh, scones.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Is there jam? Jam. Nice.
Would you like Irene to send some Reiki to help?
Yes, please. All I could get would be wonderful. And thank you. Homemade jam. Oh, that does sound lovely. Thank you for the ice cream cone.
What's that blue bottle up there having it?
What blue bottle?
Up there.
Oh, someone asking on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's mixture for the fire scrying. Yes, it's highly volatile, and to be completely honest with you, it should be probably kept locked away. I forgot it was there. Yeah. Thank you. And scones. You know, the funny thing is when you push yourself, even if you're tired and you push yourself to do readings, you do get energy from it. Get knackered afterwards, but you do get energy. Good night.
Oh, Gwen.
Cup of tea.
I love that name, Gwen. I think that's going to be on my baby list.
That's what we have, a long baby list.
I know we do. We have to have a lot of babies.
Yeah.
I got your tip for Libra for life.
Okay. It says what? Wait.
It's Emmy readings.
Emmy
reading.
reading.
Never mind. You don't have to wait anymore. Sorry.
I don't have to wait anymore. Okay. Gwendolyn. Yeah. It's a good name. It's a lovely name. Babies. Yes. There will be more babies one day, but not right now. I can't take it. I can't. No. It's too many already. Oh, thank you, Lady K. Now, can you see anything for me with my person? Oh, it's funny that Henry was saying that today, wasn't he? Smell of mint coming from these. Do twins run in the family? Yes, I am a twin. In true witch tradition, though, my twin died at birth. Apparently that's one of the ways that you get a witch. Yeah, I did. Minty. Kind of like... Oh, really? It's cool. I mean, it's not cool, but it's, you know. What kind of readings do you do? Is the wildcat wild? Is this a trick question? Yeah, it's kind of like mint ice cream mint rather than strong acidic mint. The Three of Cups. 4 of Cups. Because there's a lot of cups here. Ah. Okay. So, anything for me with my person? Well, this is very much good times, okay? The Three of Cups is revelry, happiness, laughter, joy. Okay, good card. The Four of Cups, things boost up slightly. There is something here that maybe is seen but not taken to a level that is perhaps the natural kind of level it needs to go to, but it is observed, it is known, perhaps not said, but known. The Queen of Cups, this I believe is something that you have the ability to change depending on how you wish. However, the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is very different to these other three cards. The Ten of Wands is forms of responsibility, encumberment, and difficulty. The Moon and the Devil. The Moon is that kind of calls out. It's the energy that calls out. Not calls out by words, but rather by that which it may resonate within us, the energy that it may imbue to us. And it calls us out because it's like, now what are you going to do with that? And that's kind of the thing. The Devil is that energy. This form of, it's not a bad card, the Devil. People think it is, it's not. But it is the situation in many ways, in the way of the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is not to blame. It's been there for a while, perhaps, but it's something needs resolution in this sense. When it comes to emotions, there are good things here. There's lots of give and take and stuff like this. There is lots of openness when it comes to emotion. But however, be careful, because it seems from that Queen of Cups, which is kind of this presentation of emotion, perhaps taking things further, trying to force a situation can create this form of overwhelming that can then lead to this. Like, okay, we've stepped beyond, we've stepped through the door, we've gone into new territory here, and this new territory is now requiring things of us, and we're like, I'm not sure. So that alone is just a kind of more of a warning rather than of what may happen. It's just kind of like, things are good in many ways. Do not force the flow. Okay, when things are good like that and there is forms of emotion and communication that are open, there is no need to force things. I hope that helps. I'm sorry, I've been a bit grumpy to you.
Thank you. My way of feeling. They're very nice to you.
That's not
and I programmed
true.
a TV remote.
No one asked you to do that.
Yeah, but it was an unspoken thing that needed to get done, and you will enjoy turning the TV remote up and down and not getting up.
Honestly, I don't mind getting up and turning on.
Wow! Okay, never mind. I'm gonna undo it.
I had a TV.
Rude!
I had a TV that didn't have a remote. You had to come out and turn it on and off. Growing up, like it had a little knob that you had to turn for each channel. Like
no,
it was made mainly. Television was made mainly of wood. Robin, you know. See, it was huge, and the great thing, you used to put things on it, like pictures and a vase. Although my mother would always put a vase on the bloody television, and I always was like, don't. It's the worst thing you could put on a massive electrical appliance. Is just this massive jug of water. Console TV, yeah. Came with its own legs. Yes, readings are still open. They are still open. Manata. Is that right? Am I pronouncing it Mangata? Echo on YouTube. I was wondering, yes, I should stick with the bar I'm at and keep on trying to buy it, or if I should consider opening the spiritual store that I'm considering opening. Ooh. Come back. Hello.
I got your tip, Tina.
The rest of this song is very different from the chorus. I think I've only ever heard the chorus. Okay, so the first two cards that we have here, Echo, are the Queen of Wands, which is fantastic because this is all about you working and acting on intuition. Okay, your first and foremost thought, your impulse is actually intuition when it comes to this question. All right, Queen of Wands. Okay, the cat is the big symbol to intuition here. Very intuitive animal in many ways. I mean, they can be arseholes, but they're nevertheless very intuitive. Now, the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is joy. It is abundance. Okay, as you can see here, it depicts this. There are good times. There is plentiful abundance here. There is a family. There is, there's rejoice. All right. So, working upon that, working on your intuition on what you may feel, seems to be able to lead to this. All right. Obviously, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But then we have two inverted, and this is what the complicated bit comes from, because we have the inverted Empress. All right. So for you to work on these things, it may also mean that you may start to become subdued on other matters. All right. Other matters which you already control, which perhaps you already rule over in this in this sense. Sorry. This is kind of like keeping, like, taking your eye off the ball in many ways. All right. This may also here mean that some forms of opportunities may be lost that are present of yet now, rather than the ones further on down the line when it comes to opening the store and stuff like that. Why is this? Okay, so two very strange cards. They conflict, but also they don't. The Nine of Swords. There is stress, there is worry, there are forms of sleeplessness here. And then the next one is the Ten of Pentacles. There is plentiful stuff here. There is stuff that is worked, there is reward for hard work, there is comfort and abundance to this. These two go hand in hand, unfortunately, that there are forms of stress to be taken on, as I'm sure you're aware of such things, of ventures as that you are talking about there. But there does come this from it. And, going in eyes wide open, as I'm sure you are, you would know this. So working on your intuition seems to be what you will benefit from mostly there. I hope that helps. Ah. I need the list.
Rude.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's Robin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was talking to Gigi, but thank you. Don't sneer at me.
We sleeping with someone else tonight? You can be so nasty to me.
Do you say I'll be sleeping with someone else?
Yeah, Morgan Lee Roper.
Well, Gigi's got scones, so.
I know whose ass you're gonna be like. You're welcome, Echo. If you do open up a spiritual shop, can we get discounts?
Yeah.
You know, a tag.
Right. So, sorry. Back on track. Hello.
Hello.
Reader's choice. Extra is for free. Oh, thank you. Okay. Did I say who it was for? It's for Robin.
For Robin.
Yeah. I don't know if I said it.
For Robin.
Okay.
Irene said, I'm not sure if the Reiki helped or not, but I got major tingles in this one, fell out of a grid that I have.
It has lessened a lot. Like when I first came on live, I wanted to tear out my tooth. It was so painful. Now it's just like it feels like there's a lump there. It's just where every time I move my jaw, the gum that's covering half of the tooth is kind of rubbing it. Yeah. Something we noticed today is Morrigan, what's she like 3.5 now? Her gap is closed. I don't know when that happened, but her gap is closed up and it's causing her some pain because all other teeth are starting to push forward. And she was really worried. Did you know that in bed? I was putting her to bed and she was like, will it come back? I was like, yeah, probably. Your gap. She was like, will it come back like yours? I was like, I don't know. I think so. She was like, I want my gap back. I was like, it's okay. I'm sure it will. They're going to fall out eventually. And she was like, what? I was like, don't worry about that now. Just go to sleep.
You're liking those crow tarot cards, huh?
I do like them. I do like them indeed. I actually, in one of my readings I was doing today, I commented on how I find it easier to read the individual crows rather than when there's people on the deck, which says more about me rather than it does about the cards, I think. But hey, you know, there are things here that we may have seen before, but they are changing. You are listening to something now, whereas though you may not have been before, being more aware of such things. This comes in this form as well. Here, forms of instruction to be taken, things that you may be communicating outside of yourself are helping you in the way of guidance. This is more of an old form, that falling, this kind of tripping is not the case now. This, the King of Cups, there is plenty of emotion here. There is plenty in the way of feeling. But it is this kind of coming to terms with recognition in some things that may not actually be the case are there for a different reason. Forms of emotional attachments, emotional kind of provocation from others is actually just there for your advancement. Although some things may be nice and then they may hurt as well, they're all, what's happening for you is that the journey is starting to become clear almost, the path ahead. You're starting to look behind you, realize why all of these things kind of were happening, and it gives you a better idea of what's to come ahead. about yourself. The Magician is you are becoming stronger. Spiritually, you are becoming stronger. And as I always say, you turned the heating up, didn't you? I don't, well, I do say that a lot, but that's not it. As I always say, I just realized it's quite warm in here. As I always say, that when you become stronger, when you become spiritually stronger, more grounded in yourself, you have stability, and it comes with it is that there is confidence and such things like that come from that, but it does draw in other people. And as we were saying before about certain people who may not be conducive to your life path, and perhaps other people that you care about, um, you must be aware of this. Your light, the brighter your light shines, the more it may attract, but it doesn't always mean it attracts the best sort of people as well. So that is also something, as we were saying, to keep in the back of your mind, but don't necessarily just go out pushing people aside who may, because you can shoot yourself in the foot in that case. But yeah, I hope that helps. I almost didn't say it then.
Oh, that helps you.
Oh, thank you, Gigi.
Oh, it's cold outside.
It's not. It's
what?
fecking boiling in here.
Oh, I'm gonna freeze.
Put some trousers on.
No.
Are you wearing my shirt?
Yeah.
You have so many of your own tops. Why do you always wear my shirt?
Because these make me feel smaller. I look petite in them.
You look petite anyway.
Oh, that's nice. It ain't true.
Yes. Wear a jacket. Exactly.
Gotta go get my fuzzy socks. This is gonna be the situation. Can't live like this. This is abuse. Workers' rights.
I honestly thought she was going to say, like, oh, it's because they smell like you or something. It was, no, it's literally because they make me feel petite. Good enough. Hello, Lord Chum. Who's next here? Where are we? Dr. Macy.
Oh, God, it's freezing in here. What? Shut the window.
Beautiful. I love it. It's so cold.
You just opened it, too. Shut
I know.
the window.
It's because you've got the door open.
Like
There's a food
out.
drop.
Come on now.
No, not come on now. I need the cool air. I'm a winter person.
Snakes don't like the winter air.
They have their own habitats. They're fine. Brisk is the word, exactly.
Look, I'm struggling with pollination from divorce, need support, I miss him, maybe because I'm lonely. Yeah.
Sorry, was that Dr. Macy?
Yeah.
Can you say that out loud? Because I can't see it.
Struggling with loneliness from divorce, needs support. I miss him, maybe because I'm lonely.
Ah, there we are. Oh, there. It just came up. Okay. Oh. Well. All right. I like the cold as well. When I'm cold, I'm just more energetic. When I'm hot, I get sleepy, and that's not helps. It does not help. Oh, that's one thing is like I love it. I have a window open all year round. What do I normally smell? It's usually it's weird things. Sometimes if it's really not the right deck that I'm supposed to be using, I'll get a strange smell of like astringent onions, which is not very nice. Then other times there'll be a smell similar to that of like rose water, potatoes. Potatoes, funny enough, is actually I do get that kind of that weird earthy thing, but most of the time when I know it's the right ones, bananas. It's like this. It's I say it's like static of a television, but I don't think televisions have static anymore. Just shows my age more than anything, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Dr. Macy. Hmm. So, the Ace of Wands, although stands by itself, there is, I never noticed that. There is the path that lay ahead. Now, the path that lay ahead, it is one that is taken alone. And right now, that's something that, as you say, it is the familiarity. It is not so much that you may miss someone for who they are, but rather you miss them just because it is familiar. And there are moments where just someone's presence alone is enough to make us feel better. However, you will find that not very far away from this moment now, there are others. Okay. You have supports around you when it comes to others, perhaps in the way of work, something like this. But the 10 of Pentacles here holds all of this in the way of what you need. It does mean that you need to go out and get some of that, though. You need to find that. Okay. Do not sit idle, because of that is, once again, that is that form of familiarity. You got to get back in the game in many ways. That could be the case, because all the pentacles there is forms of finance, work, and it's just chock-a-block, and all those people sitting around, it's almost like these are talking, or the crows are talking. Okay, so that can be a good outlet for you as well. Yeah. The Chariot is there again. I know the crows again. I really like this deck. The Chariot here, nothing chariot-y about it really, but it is things that may speed up, things that need to be kind of sped up in a way. Perhaps you may have been waiting for things to speed up in some sense, to do with being perhaps social aspects, or even when it comes to love, something like that. The Wheel of Fortune here is turning. The winter that is going to be coming is always difficult here, and I feel that this is actually a turning point where you can sow seeds towards something for when the spring comes, because we are all affected socially by the weather, all of us, and the seasons. And the Fool is brought here, and also Justice. These two are the most important cards, because this is kind of tells you what to do in many ways. Not that I would tell anyone what to do, but the Fool is this carefree attitude. Okay, it is that which just completely kind of disregards the what ifs and such like this. Thank you very much. But more just does it for the sake of whatever, and it is the self-belief and all of these wonderful things, completely free of any form of conditioning of anything that we may have been told about ourselves. It's free of any inhibition in that sense. Justice is what needs to be met in this way. It is time, way past time. You need to now go out and carve that path for you. Although right now, as you said, it can be the forms of that there is this familiarity that you may miss. There is so much more to gain simply from that small sacrifice, which will show itself, especially over the winter. As I said, start sowing those seeds. Say yes when sometimes you may have said no. I'm sure you already have, but keep doing that. I hope that helps. Why are people telling you not to hide? Why are you hiding?
Curtis says that he likes the cold as well. I'm like, no, it's too cold. And then you gotta wear layers and your nose gets cold. And he said, I should wear a mask. And I said, and cover up this beautiful face?
Oh.
I could never. How could I hide my beauty from the
You're
world?
most welcome.
You guys you'd be missing out on so much.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I feel better now.
Good.
To be fair, it's my own fault as well. I went to bed pretty late last night. I was watching earwax extraction. I was laying in bed on my phone watching people taking earwax out of people's ears, and I was like, this is so satisfying. And I was like, oh, grab it. Are they going to get it out in one? And then I went from one to the next, and then it was like 11:30, and I was like, oh, I should really go to bed. Healing from the chatters. Yeah, yeah. The thing is when those earwax extractions, then I start getting paranoid because I'm like, is mine like that deep down? And I just never knew. Is there like bits of cotton bud stuck in there from when I was 8 or something? And then I forget about it. I'm like, don't be silly and go to sleep.
Oh, you're trying to stay up. Let me look real quick, Lily.
Who, where, what?
I'm gonna say 25
1, 2, 3,
minutes,
4, 5,
Lily.
6, 7, 8.
If you want, I can have him post it for you after.
I can post it after or tomorrow if you like, Lily. What's your question? Hang on. What's coming? Yeah, we can do that. I can do you a 3-minute one and post it. The ear, yeah, I think that's actually what it is. I think that the there is actually causing that because I've had ear pain. How long have I had ear pain now? Like 4 or 5 years?
For 4 or 5 years, yeah.
It's bad. Yeah.
That's a monitor.
Okay.
LXME34. You're up.
LXME. What should I be prepared for? Ooh.
Hello, kid. Yeah.
Someone told you that you're moving. As long as it wasn't your landlord. It was a massive hint that it would drop. Hello. Sorry, that was just my vague attempt at being funny. Hang on, what's this bit on the side? Who are you talking to? He is so grumpy in capitals.
Nobody at all.
No, I know it was probably a reader. I was just joking. Okay. There is something here, which is a bit strange in some ways, because we have these two cards that have popped up before. There is the Nine of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. So there is something in the way of stress, okay, sleeplessness, stress, worry, but also this reassuring card that there is something from it materially that is going to be good, even though it may be stressful. All right. Now, this can be something to do with perhaps work. We have here this form of material that is being grown, cultivated. All right. The Queen of Cups here, there is introspection when it comes to desire, emotion, what you may feel and want from something, perhaps even an opportunity to change something about that. These three cards are the ones that kind of, well, I'll show you. The Hangman. Okay, so there is an inability to act how you may wish to act about something. This is once again when control is taken out of our hands. We fight back, and then it creates this. It's a bit like quicksand in that sense. The more you struggle, the tighter it gets, the quicker we kind of sink. However, there is forms of sacrifice in the way of pain, which, not great, but there is strength that is found beyond this. This may be some form of betrayal is too much of a strong word. Okay. I'm not going to it's
Ooh.
not betrayal. Okay. But it is kind of like betrayal. All right. So it's not like, oh, but more like, oh, you know what I mean? In something perhaps in the way of something that is unexpected, but also at the same time you're strong enough for. So it could be something, a letdown from someone. I don't think it's more of a letdown. I think it's more of like an opportunity that you are hoping for may not happen, but at the same time, that can lead you to look in other directions for something. Okay. So there is that. This is having your hands full, lots of work. And then the Hermit. The Hermit is this isolated sort of energy, but there is movement there. I am not. I'm kind of seeing, in a sense, that there can be a form of movement, but it's almost because of it's not a choice that you would make when it comes to movement. It seems that something is out of your hands, and you are forced to move in some way, whether that may be move as in the physical sense of moving house, or move as in perhaps job or something like that. But there is something that is a disruption that leads to something that is better, that you are capable of navigating. Most of all, you are capable of navigating it. All right. I hope that helps.
This. You got this. Every door there's a window.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's be honest. So many of us don't actually want to move, even when our situations aren't actually great. We don't want, we always think it could be worse, so I'm fine where I am. And we can't do that. We can't just be fine where we are. We need to move whether we want to or not. This is the law. It is the way. Yeah. Oh, where are you going?
Hey, Blake, it's freaking freezing in here.
Put some trousers on.
No. It's literally like a 10-degree difference.
Change is hard. It's not that cold.
It's so cold. It's seriously so cold in here.
Layers. Ogres are like onions. Have layers.
See you later.
Catch you later.
Woo.
Chose. Nervous about the next 2 weeks. Any guidance? A Yankee in Europe under the plane. Europe has hot places.
Spain.
Although I don't know if you mean her, because we're in America, but I'm. What did Sting say? Oh no, that was New York. Never mind. Right. Not Holland. Oh, I love Holland. I love Holland. It's so nice there. Everyone rides bikes. And because everyone rides bikes, there's like loads of cobbled streets and hanging flower baskets and lovely lampposts. And everyone sits outside. And if you lived there. Oh, that's cool. Whereabouts there did you live? Where did I stay? Leiden. I stayed in Leiden, and that was really nice. I enjoyed that. Den Haag. Ooh. Is it Haag or Hague?
Did you announce this is for Chofs?
Yes. I'll do it again. Oh, right. It's mainly because I was like student of archaeology, and they've got a really good archaeological program there at the university as well. So, cool. Joes, next 2 weeks, any guidance? Okay, right. Let's just start with these first 2 cards before I turn anything else over. Okay, Joes. Here there is the Two of Cups, so this is involving you and another person, it seems, here more than anything else. There are forms of feelings, perhaps tension. Okay, so that's the first thing I will say here. There is also the King of Pentacles. This is the energy that this kind of brings about. The King of Pentacles here, I've always seen as, although there is forms of abundance here and there are opportunities for something to be built on, there is also a form of stubbornness to this. This is present in this form of Taurus sort of energy with the bulls and things like that, and just the stoic nature of the figure. But once again, beyond that, beneath that surface, there is opportunities for abundance and good headway in that sense. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles is this energy that someone else is bringing in. Okay, someone else is bringing in this form of energy that is perhaps opportunistic, can bring with it some good, some bad, but it can also create conflict within you, perhaps in the way of you are unsure or perhaps not easy to trust something, not someone, but rather something, as in the way of a situation here. Okay, the Lovers here, followed by the Wheel of Fortune, is something to do with the past, but the Wheel of Fortune is to tell you that although that you are working on past principles of things that have happened and experiences of those, the wheel turns. Things are no longer the same, and you are no longer the same person. So go into them as though you are a different person. Experience things as a different person, even though you know so much more than you once did. You will. But above all else, regardless of what these cards in between, let's say in between these cards, I just dropped one. In between these cards, there is also a message that seems to keep sticking out. That message, oh, thank you. That message is strength. You are stronger than you know, and you must, that strength will remain regardless of what the next 2 weeks holds for you. There is great strength there that you can still call upon, and your kind of calm, your place, you can take with you wherever you may go. All right, I hope that helps. I used to be able to speak a bit of Dutch. Well, if you lived there, I should imagine you did as well. All I remember is saying is ik hou van jou. Huh. You're welcome. Yeah, I know. It's a bit mushy. Sonis Om. It does. That's the only thing I remember because of the way it sounds. Ik hou van jou.
Do you want to tell people how they can get a reading?
Sure. Hello there. If you would like a reading, they're $10 minimum tip readings. You can tip via Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. But please remember to leave your username and a question pertaining to your reading if you have one. Thank you.
Sister of Light says hi on YouTube.
Hello, Sister of Light. Sorry, yeah, I don't see the chat on YouTube until it comes up on, like, because we're going back and forth. Hello.
I got your tip, Lord Chum.
Okay, so sun is on. What do I need to hear? Okay. Are you all right there, love?
Mhm.
You have dipped. What's the matter?
Okay. No, Athena, you still got time. So after this one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 more in front of you.
We're going for the crows again.
You're welcome.
Okay. So what do you need to hear? Firstly, oh, thank you. Oh, so sweet. The Hermit. The Hermit here. What you need to hear, which I'm sure you may know, but who you are is completely unique. When it comes to others, their opinions, what they may think and feel about you, or situations that you may find yourself in that involve them, pay no attention. There is nothing that you need to sacrifice here. There is nothing that you need to accommodate for other people. By doing so, you may have known this from the past experience, that instead all you are doing is clipping your wings. All you are doing is confining yourself and limiting the amount of freedom or space you give yourself to be authentically you, which in turn jeopardizes everything that you are trying to become in your life, to develop too. As long as you remain true to who you are, especially when it comes to people who may be judgmental, here, the Six of Cups, abundance can be yours emotionally as well. Oftentimes, things come to us that we want, that we desire, when we are so truthful with ourselves that we are content with our own feelings. And that doesn't just mean feelings as in I'm happy. That means feelings as though I'm sad, I'm in pain, I'm angry. All these things, when we fully embrace them, when we accept them, then we realize where we stand in the point of our lives. Our vulnerability is actually what makes us vulnerable. Um, the Six of Wands. There is forms of leadership here for you as well, in the way of, well, you, as you can see here, that screams leadership. Um, you may be looked upon by others to help. Responsibility may fall to you, but you are more than capable. You are a natural born leader. And often the times and the ways with people who are natural born leaders, they often sit back. They are told to stand aside. Um, but this is no longer the case, especially the more you become comfortable in your own emotions and feelings, the more you'll realize your capabilities far exceed that of those around you. I hope that helps. Libra for Life on YouTube. Oh, it's gone. Where are we gone? Where are we going?
I'm just seeing if they've said anything.
Damn it. I forgot to get the rats out the freezer. You're most welcome.
Guess they're eating tomorrow.
Yep.
Libra for life. Are you still on the YouTube?
I'll get them out in the morning, and then that way they can eat tomorrow. Hello. I can get them out. Yeah, I'll get them out in the morning. They can eat tomorrow night. Oh, that is a good point. We need to actually visit that new pet store that Rye brought home the card with to get more food for them.
That's okay, Chops.
You fed your crows. Oh, I'm actually working on a crow call right now, and it's really bad, but I'm getting better. I'm convinced that I'm going to learn to speak crow and then call them and befriend them with peanuts
They're
and
still here.
kind
They're ready.
words. Okay, Libra for life. Buying a house from my husband's aunt and uncle. They just told us a different price from what they told us. Now we are confused. What should we do? It's a lot more. Okay. Oh, yeah, my one's really bad. I won't do it because I usually do it in the shower, so the neighbours probably think I shower with a crow, but it's got a crow in there. This card. Past life traumas, Sunrays, aren't always necessary. As you said, if you don't know something, then it's not necessary to dig it up or even learn that always. It's more about when we it's more about when we are truthful to ourselves. When we are truthful to ourselves and we accept forms of truth that we may not wish to originally accept or even kind of look at, is when such things sort themselves out naturally and we don't fully need to look at past life stuff, if that makes sense. Now, Libra for life, let's have a look. So there is the action, then there is the speculation, then there is the action here, then we have the doing. There's a lot here. Okay, right, so the King of Swords. Hello. The King of Swords is followed by the Knight of Swords. This is almost a way of there was forms of communication, okay, air, sword, communication about such things, perhaps talking about buying things and the price that was originally given. Then there was the go ahead. This is the execution of such things, all right? The Knight of Wands is the action card, it is the fire card, and that is the okay, we're going to do this. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to buy your house. I'm going to sell you my house. Great. But the Lady of Wands here is action, but also at the same time with the Lady of Wands, there are forms of thought coming behind it in form of emotion. In other words, there may be a higher price for this reason. They didn't fully perhaps expect certain things. They have changed the goalposts slightly here because they realistically have looked and they've thought, oh, actually, we're going to need more money, and it's awkward and it's difficult. Okay, this is this awkward kind of thing happening. Okay, sorry, you're in that camera and I keep looking there. My apologies. This is forms of knowledge, education, or legal matter, which buying a house that would fall under. The passing on of a torch form of action. It does seem to be the way, and it doesn't seem to be the fact that they are. What I'm getting from this, to be honest, is there's more forms of embarrassment than anything else that aren't voiced in the way of we've had to kind of change the price slightly because we didn't think that this would happen, and then it did, and now we realize that we need a bit more, and we're just gonna smooth over that, if you know what I mean. That's more of the thing that's happening. I don't think there's anything nefarious there or anything that's tricksy about it. I hope that helps. My family's like that, if that's any consolation. They'll be like, absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. We'll sort it out. We'll figure it out means we'll talk about it at the very last minute and then panic. Because they want to help. They want to do what they can, but they say that they can do more than they can actually do. if you know what I mean. Law, can I have your phone, please, dear?
Mm-hmm.
She's falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fall asleep. Okay. All right then, Law. I've got it. Apples. That's a new scent. Hi, Rye. I think that's Rye. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I'm too cold, you guys. Beaver said, yeah, I know that uncle got sick this year and put them in a tough spot.
Oh, that's okay.
Be persistent.
You know, they say the heart is willing, you know, that sort of thing. Right. This is all about direction and path for you, Law. But what may come of it, we'll see. Firstly, there is reunion here. Okay. So, in the way of trickster, any form of a trickster, I wouldn't say trickster as much, but there is something else. Reunion is more to do with something that naturally may have been there before, but has then since been cast out only to slowly return again. Here there is creativity. This can rely purely on your gifts. This may be something to do with you not creating it, but perhaps something that had been created before when there was a time of great trauma and pain. It may have been a residual thing. In a sense, the old witches would have called such a thing a fetch, or a thought form. Okay, they can create. Witches make them a lot. This is another reason why witches must be in control of their emotions, and meditation and these forms of things are so important, because when a witch gets angry or frightened or stressed to such a point, they can actually create such things unwittingly if they're unaware, especially at a young age. This too here may have something to do with it. But the salmon is the hard journey, the long journey, where there is destination. Where you are now, there is great strength. Comparatively to what this may be, this form of energy, it pales in comparison anymore, which is why something that may have been classed as demonic to you, baby, in the past years ago, now is like unrecognizable almost, in the way of like, what the hell is this? The wood ward, that's you. That is you comparatively now. There are forms of protection in place. It cannot touch you. The pole star, once again, your path, your direction, you are still following your truth. In other words, I believe that this is simply just something that has kind of eked its way slowly back, that had been gone for some time, and it is nothing. It is nothing. You can cast that out simply with forms of the affirmations, doing what you do, sticking to your routine, and pushing it out. I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form that it can be that dangerous to you. For instance, you are aware that there are some forms of trickery in place, and therefore you already see through its BS. So it can't get in. That's what these things are always looking for, especially if someone was to create them from a situation in their past. It tries to find its way back to the source. So as way as that goes, just remain strong, remain being who you are now in present time, and get rid of it. Cast it out. Cast it out by just the affirmation of who you are now, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. GG Louise. Have a wonderful evening, Irene. Crow Tarot, General. Oops. Wakey, wakey, mum.
Readings are open. I think we'll stop them at 11:15 though, because I'm getting really sleepy. Unless you want me to keep going.
I don't know. I'm feeling much more energetic now. I mean, I'm tired.
You do it by yourself. You just have to check the emails as they
I don't. I mean, I am tired, and I have to get up tomorrow and go and get a couch.
Okay, so this is gymnastics.
You have to take the kids to gymnastics. I have work to do. Good night. I have work to do. Tomorrow I have like 2 spells and some readings. Let me just get this one because it's turned over and I don't know how it turned over, but it did. There, that's better. Okay. Wow, okay. So we have the Ace of Wands here. There is forms of decisive action. This can bring about great change for you. All right. This is followed up by the Knight of Cups. There is nothing here in the way of external things that other people may bring that can sway your mind about anything. Your mind being made up about certain things, it's backed with this form of emotion. It's passion. It's a winning combination in many ways. There are forms of friendship, perhaps camaraderie here in the Three of Cups, sharing forms of emotion. You may be seen by others to be a healer, but especially when it comes to people coming to you with problems, people coming to you with their woes and such things, and then they tell you things, and then but they feel naturally they feel better. This is this card in the way of the Four of Swords. It's kind of painting that picture in the way that it's not that people just dump their problems on you. It's almost as though that their problems don't get in, but instead they just fall short, if that makes sense. The Ace of Swords, opportunity. There is something big here in the way of opportunity. And once again, it's almost coming back to what we have here. Ace of Swords and the Knight of Wands. The Ace of Swords is the speculation of something that you want to do. There is plenty of movement here. Okay, there is like almost not staying still energy. All right. This is a nice card. So the Four of, no, it's not the Four, it's the Seven. The Nine. It's the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles, forms of loyalty. Okay. Then the crow that sits upon, which is the self, and then there is transformation. There is a catch between the two in many ways. Okay. So the Nine of Pentacles here is perhaps in a professional capacity or work capacity. There is forms of perhaps remaining loyal to something, but at the same time, this aspiration to go higher in something. This is something that seems to be what all this movement is about. There is this kind of very good incline up when it comes to progression for you, especially when it's like making plans. I don't know if you're a list writer, but that's what this kind of feels like. Like you may write a lot of lists. Yeah, which is good. It's kind of like natural. Yeah. All right, Miss Bossy Britches, calm down. Right. I hope that helped. But yeah. That for you is kind of like, oh, thank you. I love you too. That is like your environment. It's your element. It's where you thrive, and that's a good thing. Lily GK, what's coming? Oh no, are you here, Lily GK? Good evening. Should we close the line?
Is it 11:15?
It is 11:15. Okay.
It's closed.
The lines are closed.
No more new tips. We'll just
All right.
finish up the people on the list.
Are you all right?
I think I healed you out of my own body.
We've talked about this. This is the one thing you can't use your own energy to heal people. You
Tired.
kill yourself. Okay. Well,
I'm struggling.
all right.
Struggles. I'm on the struggle box.
Oh, thank you. It is nice. My favorite color. Lily GK, what's coming my way before the end of 2021? I'll be well. Thank you. Okay, Lily GK, what's coming in the way of something here? Okay, so there is forms of abundance here coming to you where you may feel as though you are sport for choice in the way of abundance, especially that of emotions. As a matter of fact, emotionally, there may be things coming through thick and fast. We all get that occasionally. This form of something builds up and we don't understand it, we don't know it, but there's just so many mix of emotions. This can also incorporate into this form of abundance. At the same time, this must be allowed to pass. These things must be allowed to just flow from you, because the inverted Nine of Swords is just that. The inverted Nine of Swords is the decrease of worry, perhaps insomnia and stress. This is probably because there is a release in some way coming. Here, this allows for you to see things in a more perhaps glass half full sort of perspective. And once we get hold of that, and it only takes just a little change in our perception, things start to actually become more half full rather than half empty in all aspects of our life. This seems to be what's happening. The Ace of Wands is a good time after that to then take action, to put certain plans into place when it comes to long-term goals, long-term things that you want that can help you and aid you, that you really want in terms of like really long term. Okay, so I'm talking about starting a family or moving, those sort of things, establishing forms of career stuff, those sort of things. There's like abundance in joy here. All these feelings, all that, everything is just forms of blockages almost that are starting to like that. All right, I hope that helps. Athena Cecilia, Will my current situation work out for the best, specifically living and work situation? Wondering about my new dwelling with roommates and the longevity of my current job. Let's have a look. Hello. My love, you need to replenish your energy. Don't uncross your legs, root your feet to the ground. Open up the branches at the top of your head. Let any form of negativity go out the top of your head, bring in new energy from the bottom, like a column of light through you. Okay. Okay, so we have the inverted hangman here. So forms of things where you may feel like you are fixed on something, where you feel like there are obligations or things, restrictions for you in the way you may want to do things, are starting to lift from this. Okay. There are forms of abundance in the way of work and opportunities that may come from you, and growth, perhaps in the way of friendships as well. But there is the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands here is almost protection in a sense. I think here, in the way of living situation, you're going to actually get much more than you thought. It's going to be a good thing. I feel here that there are forms of almost comfort, protection, and security, almost like sanctuary, where you may be worried at first. It will develop into something where actually you don't feel quite as alone in a way, and it's not as uncomfortable as you may think.
Can I say goodnight to YouTube?
Good night, YouTube. Here there are forms of rest that is greatly needed in that respect. It will take a form of adjustment period where you may want to hide away, you may want to kind of retreat a little bit, but that's only temporary. That may be simply because here forms of friendship, cooperation seem to be great in that respect. As far as work goes, do not worry about that. The Queen of Wands here is something that once forms of living situations, work is something that you will actually come about changing for what you want in time. And that's not going anywhere in terms of work. There doesn't seem to be anything changing there as such externally, but rather that in time for you internally, you will come about to realize that some form of change will be needed. But that's not for now. I hope that helps. You do that thing. You remind me of the. You remember the first Hulk movie when he like gives